And you ended up, taking after your father and playing chess at a high level as well. What draws you to chess? Because I grew up playing chess as well. So
yeah, so chess. I mean, obviously, my father was a chess master, right? So I had to learn the game. He sat me down. I spent a lot of time learning it, and to this day, I have massive respect for chess. So much respect for the game. It's so much harder at that world level than people can even fathom. Unless you even play the game, you can't even anticipate how good these people are at the game. They're effectively computers. I don't think you can even be good at chess at that level without having something a little bit wrong with you. You got to be on the spectrum somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Because it's crazy how good these guys are. But yeah, chess is an amazing thing. I still play chess every day. I'm not world level or anything. I'm around 1750, 1800 elo. If anyone knows chess, that's what I am. But yeah,
would that be considered better than average?
Certainly better than average.
Yeah.
You know, the average player, let's say, is around 1,000 or something.
Okay.
But my dad was 2,400.
Okay.
Or 2,500.
Damn.
Okay. So yeah. So I'll give you an example. My dad could beat me without looking at the board.
I'm going to pause it right there. So the numbers he's talking about, you get a number of how good your skill set is. I'll bring mine up at the end. Somebody please remind me. Kofa, show us your chess app, so I can show y'all where I'm at. After that three ass whoopings I took last night, I probably dropped down in points because it was at one point I started out pretty good, but I was only playing 2 people, and I was at like 1,100. So I dropped all the way down to like 800 because I stopped playing for a while. It's a tangible skill that you can lose as well, brothers. So once you learn how to play, stay consistent. Chess.com is the best app that I've been on. But again, I haven't branched out to others, but I'm going to let Tate keep on cooking. But listen to what he's about to say about his dad not even being in the room playing him at chess. Rewind it just a little bit.
So I'll give you an example. My dad could beat me without looking at the board. So my dad would be in the kitchen, fucking around the kitchen, cooking dinner. I'd be in front of a chessboard in the living room, and I'd say E4. He'd say C6. Knight F3, Knight C3. And he'd smoke me without looking at the board. That's how good the best chess players in the world are. Yeah, it's insanity. Yeah. But I do think it's a good basis for life. There's certainly a lot of lessons in chess. There's certainly a lot you can attribute to chess from everyday life to the chessboard. And I think it's a good grounding mechanism. I enjoy to sit down for a good couple hours, win some games, lose some games. Right. It's something I personally enjoy. So yeah.
Can you tell us some of those life lessons that you learned from playing chess with your father and applying it into real life?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give you my favorite one first.
Yeah. Please do.
My favorite one is the difference between the king and the queen. Right? Because the king moves one square at a time, and the queen can just zip across the board. Right? So you're here in Miami, you're partying in Miami. They got all these parties right now. It's Art Basel, blah, blah, blah. You see all these chicks on a boat. For the man to get on that boat, it's one square at a time, right? He has to get a good job. He has to get his taxes right. He has to find a way to leverage credit. He has to meet the guy who sells the boats. He has to go through all this shit stage by stage by stage to finally pull off being on that yacht and having that yacht at the age of 56. A chick, what does she need? Lip fillers? Boom. Zip. On. She gets straight on. That's the difference between the king and the queen. But although the king is slower than the queen, he's the most important piece, right? The king can't die. The queen can die. The queen, sometimes you can be looking at a position and go, this is fucked up. The only way out of this is to sacrifice that bitch. Sometimes you can do it. I'll tell you a very quick story. This is a story I've never told before. When I was, how old was I? 23? When I was 23, I was dating a ballerina. She was the prima ballerina of the Cambridge Ballet School in England. And I had no money. I was a fighter, but I was coming up. I didn't really have any money. And she lived far away, like an hour and a half away, but she used to come see me, and we were good for like a year and a half. I loved this girl. Yeah. And she finished ballet school. She started dancing in clubs in London. She couldn't get any ballet work. Surprise, surprise. Who fucking wants ballet work, right? So she ends up doing like dancing and I'm not stripping, but like dancing in the club, you know. So now she's around all the London money every day. She's out dancing all the time. She's up late every night. She doesn't want to drive an hour and a half to come see me. None of this shit. So we're kind of falling apart a little bit. And she ended up talking to someone famous, David Hay. I don't know who he is. He's a boxer. So David Hay starts texting this bitch, right? Back and forth to the. So anyway, when I finally saw her again, she was like, we had an argument. She's like, well, you know what? You think you're a fighter. This guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. I'm like, look, if you're going to go fuck idiots, at least do it for money. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, if you're going to go fuck idiots, at least get paid because they don't give a fuck about you. Like, if you're going to play this game, at least do it for money.
Right.
So I had this argument with her back and forth, and I explained to her that these men are just going to use you. If you're going to do it, at least get paid. And when she left the house, Tristan said, why are you telling her to fuck other dudes? I'm like, no, I'm just understanding that in my chess position, I've lost this game.
Right.
The game is done now.
Pause it there real quick. There's only a couple of seconds left. You hear what he said, right? Especially Derek. You understand certain things you've lost, bro. Still got to make the best move. A lot of times we get hurt. We hurt ourselves again, like my mom has said. Like I keep telling y'all, just giving y'all my mom's advice to me, and it's some real shit. Half of what we go through is self-inflicted. So when these losses happen, you got to learn what to let go of. Not saying not to go through the grieving process, any of that stuff, but you can't keep carrying that with you on your back. You got to realize when you're at a loss, even after that loss, what's your next move? We're in this free agency space in the NBA, right? Pivot to basketball real quick. Some teams they lost. They didn't win the championship. They got bounced from the playoffs early. They didn't make the playoffs. It sucks. We lost. We suck this season. What's our next best move? What players can we get in free agency? What salary cap can we clean? Cap space can we clean up? There's always a next best move. I know these three guys on the screen are some of the internet's most hated for various reasons. Is what it is. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. That is something that I can honestly say I learned from Andrew Tate. Is there's always a best move. I didn't think of it like that. So thanks, Andrew, if you see this. Baldhead Brothers Unite. Salute to him for that. But you got to realize when you lost, hold that L, make the next best move. Chess is going to help you realize that, because you can just make a move. Make the best move fucking possible. If not, create one. Let these last few seconds run out.
Just sooner or later, she's out. All we do is argue. She's in the club every night. I'm just trying to say, before she leaves, maybe I can get a little bit of money.
Yeah.
That's the queen sacrifice, right?
Right.
We broke up 3 months later. I don't know if she fucked him or not, or who she fucked. I don't know. I never spoke to her since. But that's kind of the analogy you have to be able to apply to life. Sometimes chicks got to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to go to save the king. And too many dudes, most of the time, men truly lose at life. It's because they've attached themselves to a queen and they won't let her up. They won't sacrifice her.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
Tears with a tears, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that and Andrew Tate's analogy. All right, cool. You motherfucker. You diabolical fiend.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Look, this man know how to get my damn goat. Salute to you, DG. Y'all want to see Kofa get mad? Tell him Kobe sucked.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
Boy, y'all ain't shit. But I fuck with y'all heavy, man. Andrew's on to a point right here. He really is. But let's get into it. This one's real quick, y'all.
Coolest scene in any movie is? No, that's actually a question. I'm not just gonna tell you. Well, Power Rangers, I think a Batman movie and Marvel Comics. Losers. Thanos. Yikes. Thanos. Best scene in any movie ever is Enter the Dragon.
Undisputed martial arts champion Bruce Lee.
And on his way out, runs into a room and the door closes. And he tries to get out, the other door closes. And he's stuck. And he instantly just sits down and chills. I'm trapped now, so the best thing I can do is just relax. No point kicking the door, it's solid steel. No point panicking. Then when the door eventually opens, at least I'm energized. Better than being tired. Making the best move on the chessboard, regardless of how losing your position is a life philosophy that most will never understand. Sometimes you look at your position on the board and you're fucked. Regardless of how fucked you are, there is still a best move.
Got it! It's hotter than fish grease!
Regardless of how fucked you are, there is still a best move. Let's see. Mo says Tate was talking about codependency. Even a broke clock is right twice a day. Look, he didn't have it at the time, Mo. But guess what? He still cut her ass loose. And look where he's at versus whatever millionaire dick that girl done took on a yacht, and we don't know who the fuck she is.